Sunday, August 25, and we're at Rosevear Ferry down on the McLeod River. And the summer of 2019, July, the weather was brutal. Horrible rain. 23 days out of 31 it rained, and it seemed like the other 8 days it tried to rain. The McLeod River at the peak was something like 7-8 feet above normal levels, and it caused a lot of natural evolution to the riverbank. It might look at it as damage, but it's just the way the river evolves. But it's really quite remarkable when we go down the river how much the banks eroded in places. The entire tree root mass of huge spruces and poplars washed out. We're talking like 20 feet by 20 feet and 5 foot depth of soil, and then the entire tree slid down into the river. And we're talking thousands of trees on all the islands and along the bank. The number of trees piled up that flowed down the river is really remarkable. So we're going to videotape that and maybe throw a line in the water too along the way. Not expecting to really catch fish, but fishing from the bank yesterday we caught 3 nice walleyes, so might get lucky on the river today. Okay, we're just setting out from the ferry, and Trout Creek right here, it's flowing way higher than normal. Still a lot of water. Just the fields in this area down here in the Rosevear Ferry area are still huge puddles of water, lakes of water actually in lots of the fields. That's normally a trickle coming out of there. And ahead of here, you can already see the bank. There's a spot there, a bright brown spot where there's a huge piece of soil that washed out. That whole bank came down. And then when we get a little bit farther, you'll see where a bunch of these big trees came down. Here's one of the first places where you really see how the trees came down. And a funny thing, like back on the other bank where the waters seep in out of the bank, almost every area where we saw this, there's a trickle of water still coming down, right in the area where it happened. Look at the size of these trees. Those poplars were somewhere up on that cliff, and the whole root mass came down. And then this is, of course, stuff that flowed down the river and piled into them. And again, this spruce tree used to be up on that bank somewhere. So the water's coming down where that tree came, and again here. So you wonder if during that really high rain, if that was a place where the water was more concentrated, or if there's almost like a underground spring right there. Pretty amazing.
The fields up above the river, there was standing water 2-3 feet deep, and that lasted for months after these heavy rains. And that water just had someplace to go, and of course where it was seeping out underground, coming out through the riverbank, and as it did, it was causing all this erosion.
And altering this channel possibly. I don't know. I suppose maybe we get really heavy rain again in the future. It's going to lift these out of here and carry them away. The spot there where there was a mudslide on that bank, soil collapsed and slid out. Now, obviously, you got to make sure that you stay clear of these trees.
As we come into this rapid, you'll see there's huge trees sticking out into the water, and that's what I'm talking about. You gotta make sure you avoid those. Your raft goes under that, and you can be killed right in a heartbeat. And if you look up on the left, you can see the lighter color at the top of the bank. That's where all the the soil let go. That whole lower part you see used to be up there, and the entire thing, like 300 yards long, slid down. It's amazing.
Ooh-la! Whole bunch more stuff right here came out of that little area. It's amazing how fresh all that rock is. There's the rain pounded that and just cleaned off all new areas of that, exposing fresh, clean rock. All right, a huge area of this bank come down. And it's really something how that whole tree just, it used to be live up there, now it lives here.
Watch the fishing rod on them branches, don't be getting too close again.
I'm going to be okay this time. Thank you. Again, where they come out, we got water running out of the bank. Quite a boil of water there. And yesterday, we did this trip yesterday, but didn't have the GoPro. But we saw several places where there's large trees down in the bottom of the river, and the water flowing over them, and they're just, you know, bobbing in the river. Here's a whole bunch more stuff that came down.
You can see how dangerous all this debris in the water would be, right? You get tangled up in some of these big, huge trees that are sticking out, and some of them below the water that you might not see right away.
Outflow water in that area. Now, there has always been a small little trickle of water, a little creek that came in here. It's just after this stuff. That stuff is just, I think, left over from all the water. Right here where that little wee waterfall is, that has always been a waterfall right there. Quite the eddy in this area. The bank ahead of us, all the way down for 150 yards, there's an enormous chunk of soil washed out of that. 10, 20 feet of riverbank maybe was washed out. See all the roots hanging where there used to be riverbank. A little spot here where the water washed out the bank, and the water's still roaring out of here. Washed the bank right out, all the way up there, these trees uprooted. You can see how high, because the water at the peak of this was 7 to 8 feet above normal. Just scoured this bank. The weather forecast said it wasn't going to rain today, but that cloud looks like it's got other ideas.
Look at that cloud that's coming up there. And we kept watching this thing, right? Forecast said, beautiful weather. And we're like, Once we saw that, we're like, nope. And man, does this thing hit us in a hurry.
Well, we just got some of Alberta's nicest weather here. And hail coming down. Holy old bald head. That's that rain cloud I was looking at 15 minutes ago. I didn't think we were going to miss it. But, better than sitting at home. Wow, is that hail ever dropping the temperature in a hurry? Hey, babe? Yesterday we got caught in a rain almost in this exact same place on the river, but it was only rain. Not this crap. I'm keeping somewhat dry under this. But holy smokes, did that hail ever cool off the temperature, eh?
Man, did we ever get pelted right here. It got so cold that the hail was just
No telling how
pounding
long
us.
this rain's gonna last.
The temperature dropped 15 degrees
More than likely it's gonna be
in minutes.
10 minutes of this crap. Going backwards into the rapids. Well, that bloody storm is finally passed, but man, did it ever cool this temperature off out here. That was miserable. If this cloud would clear off, the sun come out, it would warm us right back up. Here's a spot in the river where this farmer field, there's all these irrigation wheels that connect together, eh? And at least three of them are washed down the river. This one's fallen in. There's one here. Way down into the corner, there's another one. The river might have actually been flowing across that point during the peak of the flooding. The wife wanted to go kayaking today so bad, eh? Because we've had such a crap summer that thought today was going to be a nice day. We looked at the weather forecast. Oh yeah, it's partly cloudy. It's going to be nice. Come out here and get a hailstorm. That's what they say about Alberta. If you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. There's a big tree here on the right. Oh yeah. When you come through this corner, there's an island that we're going by, right? So we're coming out of that right-hand channel, and where this other channel comes in, and the water collides here, there's an amazing vortex here when we get into this corner. The sand. Oh yeah, I know. And that rock used to be quite shallow there. So where I want to go, we're hitting the collision of these two currents here.
Right there in that middle.
Yeah, you could probably catch fish right there.
What about right here?
That's where I wanted to stop. Current carried me in too deep. I'm coming back though.
Fishing on the McLeod is totally about the water flow rate and the depth and the clarity of the water. And it changes every day. And as the water flow rates and depth level change, the fish move. But your basic thing is you're going to try to find the eddies
I'm going straight
at the
up
bottom of a rapid. And you want to fish that eddy right where the deeper part of the water is.
I'd rather
and
get
that's
out
where
on the
fish
sand.
and the walleye are going to be.
Right.
Walk right out on that sandbar.
Yeah, I'm gonna come right in here. Perfect. Sticking right here. Right where the eddy is. There's one.
Got one?
Yep. It's a walleye. I think. Oh no, that's a pike. Yeah, it's a pike. Okay.
Got him off already?
No, he's still on there. I'm just going down to my boat where my pliers and stuff are. So I don't have to mess around with this guy.
After you get him off, come here.
Yeah, give me a sec. Anyway, I mean, we're not trying to catch a pike, right? But he was sitting exactly in the spot where you would think there'd be fish. And there probably is walleye here too. Okay, give me a sec here. Nope, don't be crazy, you. Come on. Boy, I got that hook right in the bony. There we go.
Well, folks, that's going to conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you again later.